Good morning, 8x2. I hope you're doing very well. I fully appreciate this is not the way we wanted to return to school in January, but here we are. Welcome to Lockdown 3.0. I hope you are safe and doing well. And we are going to continue with our learning as best we can through remote learning. So many, but not all of our lessons will involve some kind of pre-recorded video like this, though I hope to be able to do some live teaching from time to time. Now, for today, we're starting something new. We're going to begin a study of the novel Oliver Twist, although we won't be reading the whole novel itself, but rather extracts or sort of an adapted version. For today, to get us started, you're actually going to be doing some background research instead, and you can see that in Teams. So if we switch over to Teams, as you can see on your screen here, you've got two files to look at. One of them is the context research topics that you'll be looking, and the other one is a PowerPoint, which will guide you through some of the ideas behind the workhouse. You can see that right here, where this PowerPoint has a lot of information and images linked to what workhouses are, or were, I should say. So please make sure you have a read through that. Your main task for today is to do this context research, so you have a bit of a understanding of the background of what we'll be reading. Context, as it explains here, is that background, what was happening in the author's world at the time of writing. Context can also apply to the reader. So what is the world around the reader that might influence the way we look at a story? So at the time of writing Oliver Twist, the author Dickens was living through some very interesting times. He was a London-based author. There was an industrial revolution. Well, we're well into that. Industrialization as London became a bigger and more important city. There was the expansion of empire. You had Queen Victoria. There was so much happening that influenced the way Charles Dickens thought and felt and the way he wrote this story. So that is part of what you're looking at here. So topics that you'll be exploring include Charles Dickens, the author, and here's some questions to guide you, but you're not limited by the questions I've put here. If you find any other information about Charles Dickens that is interesting, you might add it to your research. For example, his relationship with his wife is a questionable one. There's some indication he wasn't a particularly nice man. You might find out something about what he used to do every Christmas that's quite interesting, and you might include that in your notes as well. The most important part of the research you're going to do today is on the Victorian workhouse. The PowerPoint is there to help you, but you might find other information to add to this as well. You're going to do a little bit of research into London itself. What was London like to live in the 19th century? So at the time that Oliver Twist is set, at the time that Charles Dickens is living, what was the city of London like? And then finally, this is extension work, so only for those who are able to work particularly quickly and want to dig a bit deeper. If you find a fourth topic to research, please add it here, and I will try and reward anyone who goes that little bit above and beyond. Now, I've got down here a couple of links you can follow to websites that will help. But of course, your most powerful tool for this, if you're working off the internet, I mean, books are the most powerful tool, but sadly, you might not have access to some of this information at home, is going to be the internet. Google will be one of your most useful tools for the research you're doing. Try different search terms. For example, if you go Victorian workhouse, and then adding key stage 3 will often help, key S3. And then you might find a range of sites that are quite useful all along here. Have a look at those. The BBC bite-sized information is actually quite useful. And just keep trying with different ones. Charles Dickens' life. Okay, who was Charles Dickens? Again, at the top with BBC bite-sized, but you'll find some more down here as well. Okay, I suggest you avoid something like Wikipedia for this, only because the information, though it is quite good, tends to be a little bit on the long side, and there'll be a lot more here than what you necessarily need, okay? You don't need to read all that. What I don't want you to do is to just take something like this, copy and paste it into your Word document and call that research, okay? That's not research, that's just copying and pasting. That doesn't really achieve much. You definitely don't learn from doing that, so please avoid that. And so that's it. Good luck with your work today. I hope you're able to get some good research done on Charles Dickens and London and the workhouse and what life was like at the time of the writing of Oliver Twist. Next week, we'll begin with some reading of the text and we'll see how we get on. I hope you're healthy and safe and keeping well. Take care and see you in a week's time. Goodbye.